Good evening, everyone. This is Brian with PTU. How are you doing this evening? And we were laughing behind the scenes here that I am the Ed McMahon of NetPicks. So thanks for taking the time to be with us this evening. And we've got Mark Soberman on the line tonight who's going to take us through the bulk of tonight's presentation. We do appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to be with us. And we have some insider Forex tips we're going to share with you tonight from our own personal experience in the Forex market, what works and what doesn't work. And so there's going to be some good information shared this evening. Also, we want this to be very interactive. I'm going to be answering questions in the text and responding throughout the presentation, so don't hesitate to ask a question. And for those that apply to the group, we'll read those out loud at the end and respond via the audio. And so we've also got Troy Noonan on the line tonight. He's going to be talking to us also about his trading in Forex and some of the things he sees that are working. So with that, I am going to turn the mic over to the founder of NetPicks, Mark Silverman. So Mark, are you on the line?
Yes, I am, Brian. So hello, welcome everybody. This is Mark Silverman from NetPicks and Premier Trader University. I'm also joined today by Troy Noonan. And we'll be talking Forex and more Forex today. So that'll be kind of the main focus of the presentation, but it doesn't mean that if you've got some futures or stock type of questions, or you want to know how the Premier Trader University works in those areas, we're more than happy to address that and answer those questions as we go along. Welcome to you. Let's go ahead and kick off the Insider Forex Resolutions for 2013. This is Mark Soberman with the NetPicks Premier Trader University. I'm going to have Troy Noonan joining us here in a moment to talk some live trades and the charts and that sort of thing. And then Brian Short, you'll hear from as well. So we're going to cover 10 clear resolutions to pull your Forex trading account out of the doldrums. We're also going to demo the new PTU trading strategies so you can see how those can be incorporated right away into your trading. We're going to take you through what the university entails, how you can get started, what's included, how it's going to transform what you're doing day to day, month to month in the Forex markets, and how to really power up your Forex account really starting this month. I mean, it's a great time to start 2013. Everybody's got that renewed enthusiasm and motivation. So this is definitely, what we want to do. I won't cover this too much. You know that we've been around hopefully since 1996. We're actually now in our 17th year. I need to update that as we rolled into the new year. We've trained thousands of traders from around the world, 105 countries now. All of us on the team, anybody you hear from at NetPicks, on the mics, in the webinars, etc., all trade live in the markets typically every single day. So just be aware of that. So we definitely have a great handle on what it takes to succeed, and also we're very aware of there's a lot of failure in trading as well, and you have to kind of look at both the success and the failure in order to be able to train people successfully. This is the team that supports the NetPicks Premier Trader University. Myself in the top left, Brian in the top right, TJ gets the middle, like Hollywood Squares, and then we've got the rest of the team here that handles support and programming and the different areas that we specialize in. Everybody here is a trader. Also, everybody came in as a customer originally, kind of makes us unique as far as the staff that we put together. So let's start talking about these 10 resolutions. We'll go through them pretty quickly. But I would say that if you follow all 10 of these, or 9 of 10, or 8 of 10, you're going to leave here in a much better Forex trader. And really, I think you're going to have a much better chance of being consistently profitable in your Forex trade. So the first resolution number 1 for 2013, is swing trade before you day trade. We've all heard the cliche, walk before you run. There are a lot of problems with Forex day trading. You've probably seen some of this before in some of our other presentations. There's a lot of challenges when you try to day trade Forex. The fact that there's no centralized trading is, for me, many times a deal breaker when I'm trying to go for very small targets, when I'm scalping out, when I'm trying to get 5 or 10 pips. I mean, I am now relying upon whatever broker I signed up with. And really think about it. The broker you're with now, do you have that much trust that they can set a market and have the liquidity that you need and always kind of hit those highs and lows and all the swings? I sure don't. That's a real problem in day trading. There's a lot of complaints in the marketplace over setups, executions, stop outs, targets being missed, your stops being run on one broker, you check another data feed, and it's nowhere close to that spike down or spike up. there's crazy commissions. You think it's commission free. No way is this commission free. Super high profit for Forex brokers. I have nothing against that. They should make as much money as they can in a competitive environment. Go for it. But let's face it, there is no free trading in Forex. A lot of you sometimes kind of hear about the ECNs and you think you're hardly paying any spread. They can still move that market away from what the banks are actually trading at. You would never know that there's artificial spread being created. Even though your spread might be 0.2, they may have moved it a pip or two away of what they can actually clear that trade for. The deep freeze, how many times is your market frozen, or the trading platform is frozen, or all of a sudden you're trying to get out and you can't, and the moment you can get out is when it goes back down 50 pips. Suddenly, your broker's more than happy to liquidate your position. The spreads arbitrarily widen and narrow. Liquidity disappears. It's really, really difficult to successfully trade or day trade the Forex. It is not impossible, but that's why I say if you'll first start with swing trading, and then if you want to dabble later on in day trading, I'm okay with that. You're going to do far better and have a far greater chance of succeeding. Brian, I know that we had talked about this a little bit. A number of years ago, we had ran a managed fund in Forex trading. We ended up managing, in the seven figures, and maybe describe a little bit kind of what happened in the beginning versus where we ended up.
Yeah, sure. This goes back a number of years ago, and we had a very successful strategy that approached the market and decided to start a fund with that strategy. And the odd thing was in that situation is as we got bigger, the strategy started to not work. And not because the strategy alone wasn't working, it's because the broker started to basically trade against us as we got bigger, and we were trading many full-size contracts. It was obvious to us that the broker, started to trade against us. In one situation that I remember very vividly, there was a situation where a broker reached 60 pips past normal market conditions to take out our stops on a trade. And that was just something that was going on very regular back then. It's not so prevalent today, but it just proves the fact that size matters in this market, and the bigger you get, in some cases, that approach may not continue to work for you. This also reminds me, some of these things you list here, Mark. I also had the opportunity for about 3 years to work what I call the third shift. And it was the European session. I would start trading the European session about 2 a.m. in the morning and go for about 3 hours till about 5. And this was with a day trading approach. And let's just say I aged probably 20 years in that 3-year time span, and really did not come out that much ahead. It was pretty much break even in that time span, simply because of these issues that you're listing here, the spreads and how that works. So in a moment, I think Mark's going to show you how we think swing trading Forex is really where you should be at. So Mark, go ahead and take us and continue on.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. All really good points. That's why I kind of mentioned we'll have a little bit later resolution talking about, small accounts that do some of the robots, and, you hit it big for a few weeks and it all looks amazing, but you can never scale. And there's no point in putting all this time and effort if you can't scale your plan. I've never had a problem in futures, in swing trading Forex, in stock and options, in being able to scale. I've had all kinds of problems in trying to scale position size, attempting to day trade. These are some results for 2012 without the need for day trading. This is using the PTU trend jumper inside the university, multiple currency pairs. So this was without all that grief and frustration that you run into on the day trading side. Resolution number 2, do not only trade the Euro US and the Pound US. So a big part of you, or a big portion of the audience here today, right, are trading Euro US and Pound US. And I'm not going to talk you out of that. That's fine. If that's where you're happy being to some degree, that's okay. But I at least want to open your eyes a little bit to what I actually think many times are the better opportunities in other markets. So the first column, or the set of results on the left, and this is actually taken out of our Keltner-Bell strategy because we've been trading inside of there for over 2 years. And look at the average pips per trade over 2 years, and what are the top markets? Euro CAD, Euro Aussie, Euro New Zealand, Pound New Zealand, Euro New Zealand, Euro CAD, Aussie US, Franc Yen. Okay, there you go, right? Pound US. And there's a Euro US, right? pound CAD, New Zealand yen, euro yen, which is, I know, another favorite, and then on down. And look at one of the euro US is way down the bottom. They're all profitable. But did you notice how many other alternate, secondary, not major pairs came up first? If, this is over 2 years, but even if you're thinking, well, maybe that's over 2 years, but what about what's happening now? So I looked at the last 10 trades on this strategy as of right now, right? Just a few days ago. What's the top? Euro New Zealand, right? Franc yen, pound CAD, Euro New Zealand, Euro Aussie, New Zealand yen. All right, great. Euro US, awesome. Certainly not going to, kick 346 pips out of my account, but you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other pairs before that came in, and then Euro yen, Aussie US, and here's another Euro US, Euro CAD. Here's your pound US finally. So again, the point being is there's tremendous opportunity in Forex, but you don't have to always focus on the Euro US and pound US. It's like the futures markets. We actually tell people all the time, it's actually easier to make profits not trading the S&P mini, where all the volume is. It's easier to make money on other futures markets, futures contracts. The same goes for many times in Forex. Resolution number 3, avoid the robots. I had to bring out the BS meter again. We had it last presentation when we talked about futures and making $1,000 a day and all the false promises that are out there. This is actually from fxtradingreviews.com, a website that tracks a lot of robots. And it is amazing, the majority, by and far, the robots that they track, and they attempt to actually use the good ones, are all trading in the red. Most of them have been shut down. And these are all with small accounts. Okay, if you try to scale even the positive robots, most of the time they fall apart. I know a lot of you probably in the audience have attempted to do that. You've done fine when you put $500 in, but then when you put $5,000 in, all of a sudden everything changed. It seemed like suddenly you were on the broker's radar and the EA, which I say stands for BS, no longer worked. I mean, it's just a sea of red typically when you go to any legitimate third-party site that tracks all these robots. And these robots have tremendous marketing and huge, great headlines, and they promise you the world. And believe me, I've been suckered into some of them before as well. Why not? It's worth a shot. But they've never worked for me either. It just is not going to work. A lot of the reason for that is most of these try to scalp. When you go ahead and you backtest a scalp, they tend to work. When you go ahead and actually try to real-time trade a scalping strategy in Forex, they all fall apart because there is no liquidity compared to what you get on a false or fake backtest, especially when those backtests are just optimized and curve fit, which is usually the case. Any of us, all of you in the audience, we could spend 10 minutes and show you how to curve fit a system that's 99% successful over the last 5 years. It'll never be successful in the next 3 months or the next 3 weeks. So you just can't trade that way. All right, resolution. Let's move on. Number 4, 50 to 1, 100 to 1, 200 to 1 or more leverage is a recipe for get poor quick. Okay, your broker's generosity with leverage and margin is doing you no favor. It is not out of the goodness of their own hearts. Think about the math here for a little bit. If you had a 50 pip loss on the Euro US, that's $50 trading a mini. It's $500 trading a standard size pair. Your brokers in the US will only give you 50 to 1. Boo-hoo, poor US, we don't get good leverage. People complain about it all the time because internationally you can get 100 to 1, 200 to 1. I have a lot of complaints about what the regulators did in the Forex markets in the US. It is not, however, any complaints about the leverage. You do not need, you cannot use, you'll never succeed using all the leverage the broker will give you. If you use 50-to-1 leverage, you can control a mini for $200. You can control a standard size pair for $2,000. I know that sounds good because if you make 50 pips, you can make 25% on one trade. And there were some of you in here, right, who want to make 50% or more per month. Imagine that on compounding, it's about 10,000% or some crazy thing. But what happens if you lose just one trade in a row? You draw down 25% of your account. Time to go to the ATM machine because the margin call is happening. Imagine if now you doubled this or quadrupled this with 100 to 1 or 200 to 1 leverage. So do you know the odds that you'll not only have one trade in a row, but several trades in a row that will lose? I mean, how could your account possibly survive if you use this much leverage in your trading? Usually what happens is people are trading like a business, and you have to ask yourself this, are you trading like a business, or are you trading like a gambler? Most people in Forex, unfortunately, are trading like gamblers. You never can succeed ultimately. It's really exciting. It's really fun. Most of the time we all start and we win right away. It's like going to Las Vegas and you win right away. It almost always happens, but it never holds up and it always ends up fizzling for you. This is from Van Tharp, a really good author, and this is one of his charts on losing streaks. I just want you to look at something that I'll just point out here. 80% winners, right? That's a pretty amazing winning percentage. Not realistic, but there's a 10% chance, even at 80% winners, that you're going to lose 4 times in a row. There's a 1% chance, so it's rare, but it's going to happen sometime in the year that you're going to lose 5 to 6 times in a row. Well, do the math. How exactly can you lose 5 times in a row and lose 25% per trade, like I just showed you, using 50 to 1 leverage? You can't, right? You're going to draw down the account and then some, right? I'm sure a lot of you have probably done that. You've wiped out your account. I've done it too, all right? So nothing to be ashamed about. I've been told by Forex brokers that the average account is drawn down 3.2 times. I don't know what the 0.2 is, but 3.2 times on average before they give up at that point. Take a look at drawdown to recovery. So if you draw down 75%, just 3 losers in a row, right? 25, 25, 25. You need a 300% gain just to get back to break even. This is the disaster in using way too much leverage when you trade. Okay, resolution number 5, patience, patience, patience. Okay, so I'm going to ask, does anyone remember this song? Maybe you can kind of put into the chat box if you know who wrote this song and sang this song. I slightly revised the lyrics, so that and I'm not going to sing it. I know that that's pretty sad, but if any of you have ever heard me sing, trust me, you don't want to hear it. But the waiting is the hardest part. Every minute you see one more trade, you take it on faith, you take it to the heart. The waiting is the hardest part. Do you realize what happens to a Forex trader who has no plan, no patience, no ability to wait for your setup? It's never good.
Tom Petty is the guest coming in.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. And I will not sing it. Well, first of all, how can you sing like Tom Petty, right? That nasal, I'd have to plug my nose. Though I'm kind of a little bit sick, I might be able to slightly pull it off in your worst nightmare. But anyone remember the song? I'm going to kind of continue the lyrics a little bit. Oh, don't let it draw you down. Don't let it wipe you out. Don't let it kill your profits. Don't let it make a fool of you. Don't crush your bleeding account, or you'll be a crying fool. Don't let this go too far. The waiting is the hardest part. And it is, God, it's a killer in trading. It drives me crazy how much time you sit there waiting for the setup. It's tough. I mean, there's definitely times I will force trades, especially years ago, because it just was so dull. You look at it when you back test, you're like, oh, I could do that. No problem. Look, there was 2 winners over 2 hours. Piece of cake. Those 2 hours are the longest 2 hours you'll ever spend in your life waiting and waiting for the setup. And unfortunately, we all get very impatient when we have to wait that long and we start to break every rule in the book. You all said you wanted to have exact entry, exact target, exact stops. Great. But one of the hardest things to do is to wait for that entry, wait for that target. Ideally, hopefully not wait for the stop. Hopefully you don't get that. But if you push it, you cannot succeed. Resolution number 6, do not chase the market. If you missed it, you missed it. There's a tremendous tendency for people to chase breakouts, for people to miss the entry or the setup. They can't control themselves, and they have to jump in right away. So have you ever seen some dogs, right? You make them sit. These are actually my 2 crazy dogs. They're all fine. They're listening to you. They got the hand sign, but all of a sudden you put some food down in front of them, a treat, a toy, another dog, a cat, any other lure in front of an otherwise calm, cool, and collected dog. So this is you, and all of a sudden you see the breakout, and your system, for some reason, didn't have her set up. Are you just going to sit there and be calm, cool, and collected and relax? Probably not. This is going to be you. You're going to go crazy, and you're going to jump in and start to chase the trade. When you chase trades, you always lose money. Well, actually, what's worse about it is once in a while you make money, and then you now have created a really bad habit. It's a neural pathway. We've talked about this a few weeks ago. And then suddenly you have this terrible habit that's going to take back that profit over and over again. So chasing trades, never good. Let them go. Resolution 6, you do not need a perfect system. I think some of you probably realize that. Unfortunately, everybody chases the holy grail, That's more BS. I know there's a lot of BS in trading. Yes, you need an edge. Okay, you have to have a winning percentage, I believe, psychologically. You need consistency, right? You can't have a system that draws down 75%, even if it's profitable. Psychologically, you will not be able to stick with it. Okay, you need a trade plan. You've already, 2/3 of you said that's what you need. I want an exact in, exact out. But you also have to follow that trade plan, right? We just talked about patience and we just talked about the chase. Neither one. Well, patience being good and the chase in this case being bad. And of course, I think you really want to minimize your time in the market, which is the beauty of Forex swing trading. Minimizing mistakes is also important. Will you make more mistakes day trading or more mistakes swing trading? I guarantee you will make more mistakes day trading than swing trading. The decisions have to happen so much quicker. That's why we say walk before you run, swing trade before you day trade. Resolution number 7, no more junk tools. You know, what's the point of putting up $1,000, $5,000, $15,000 if you then decide that you're going to save all money and cut corners on free charting and free data feeds and all these, free downloads that are out there. So you're sitting here risking hundreds of dollars per trade, but you're not actually using the best charting available, the best data feed, the most reliable, the most exact. It doesn't make any sense to me, but it is amazing how often we talk to people and they're chasing the free line when it comes to their tools, right? It's like, opening up a store or whatever and having it in a crappy area with, the worst inventory and bad employees. It makes no sense to do that. You want to be able to enter on a click, drag and drop, move fast, have things done automatically, have tremendous uptime. You can't take risks if it costs you $50, $100, $200 a month, whatever, to get the best of the best tools. It's what you need to do. Make that a resolution this year. Put in the trash, the crap, and improve the environment that which you trade. Nothing free is free in trading. Even losing trades, they actually cost you more than the loss on the trade. Always keep that in mind. They cost you more. And how many winning trades does it take to go ahead and pay for a great trading platform? Normally, if you can flip one trade on the month because of having better tools, you've just paid for that platform. Just kind of keep that in mind. Resolution number 8, practice makes perfect. We have a rule that we always try to tell people to do, and I'm going to be honest with you, very few people will follow this. So I'm going to put it out there as a resolution, and like most resolutions, they get broken, but just maybe this will fall on somebody who will actually put this and take this to heart. So what this says is, once you learn a trading system, and that includes the PTU systems, these are great systems. They're going to do big things for your trading. But I still would prefer you to take 25 trades in a row on demo and make no mistakes. I didn't say you can't lose. Of course you can lose. You can have losing trades if you did everything right. And people a lot of times go, oh, Mark, come on. I mean, if you trade in demo, it's not the same thing as live money. And I go, you're absolutely correct. But let me ask you the question. If you cannot trade 25 trades in a row correctly and successfully on demo, how the hell do you think you're going to trade those 25 trades in a row when you've got live, real funds, your money, your hard-earned money on the line? You'd be better off sending me half your account and keeping the other half for good. You'd come out ahead, and right, I guess I'd come out ahead. So 25 trades in a row demo rule. It'll save you thousands. It'll save you stress, strain, and heartache. And you know what? If you make some mistakes, start over on the 25. I know it's hard. I'm the worst at this because I want to jump into the live markets, not tomorrow, yesterday, right? So I've always made this mistake, and it has, without fail, has cost me a lot of money because I've not perfected the system or the strategy. Even a great system, I'm not going to trade it properly on day one, 100%. Maybe I'm 80% compliant. We do not have enough of an edge. Nobody does in the markets to not do things at 99% compliance. It's got to be pure to the system. Resolution number 9, when 90% of the winners means losing. This is something, again, that I don't like. If you chase day trading and you chase a lot of these systems that do a lot of scalping, I saw this years ago in futures. There were systems that came out that traded the S&P E-mini, and they had 90% winners, and they had amazing strategy performance reports because people always want back testing. And then I actually put some of these to work in the live accounts because I don't know, I was convinced it worked. And what happened? I could never get the executions when it would go up 2 ticks. The back testing would always assume you got filled, The reality was, in like the S&P Mini, you rarely get filled unless it went through the price or it stayed at that price long enough. So it wiped out the entire edge, which was less than a tick. But when they showed thousands of trades in a month, it looked like it was amazing profits for having one contract traded. The same goes in Forex. High frequency trading means slippage, commissions, frozen platforms, mistakes. It leads to drawdowns. It leads to your reward risk getting way out of whack, because the only way to get 90% winners is to do what? Go for 5 pips and risk 500. That's the only way to get crazy high percentage winners. The robots that show 90, 95% winners, and sometimes they go weeks or months without a loss, they do it with crazy skewed risk-reward ratios. Eventually, they fall apart. They all wipe themselves out. You do not want to be a trader knowing that eventually you're going to wipe yourself out. That's trading like a gambler, right? We're supposed to be trading like a business. Okay, resolution number 10. The trade doctor will see you now, but there is a cure. Trade psychology is a big thing in trading. You have to start to accept the fact that there are winning streaks and there are losing streaks. To the right, circled, is an amazing winning streak. We are big believers that winners and losers happen in clusters. There's good clusters, and there's that other kind of cluster that I won't phrase it, but you know what kind of cluster that is, where the exact opposite happens. So when you go on this, great, tear in a row of winners, and this was, I think, back on some futures trades. It could be futures, it could be Forex. You can dance if you want to, right? It's amazing, but obviously, please don't. Don't get too excited when things are going well, because it does happen in streaks, because what will ultimately end up happening is something like this. Eventually, you saw Van Tharp's tables, you will rattle off a number of losers in a row. Well, if you didn't follow one of the other resolutions and you're using crazy leverage, you're done. You're out of trading, or you're having to go and pull more money out of your bank account, and that certainly doesn't feel good at all. And you do it again, and you do it again. This is going to happen eventually. So you have to understand that winners and losers happen in clusters. The world is not ending. It's just one of those things that will happen when you trade consistently. This is an amazing equity curve. I show this because look how long on the first arrow on the bottom left, it went nowhere. Do you think over all those trades you would have stuck with it? Most people will look to the right and say, oh, 40,000 from nothing. Yes, of course I would. But I'm here to tell you that realistically, a lot of people will give up and will quit. When you see those little downswings, a lot of people will give up and quit. That's never a good thing, but you have to understand that trading is made up of a series of winners and a series of losers. We aim to always have more winners. We aim to make more when we have a successful trade than we give back when we have a losing trade. And absolutely, we aim to have an equity curve that looks like what you see on the screen. But just understand the bigger picture overall. You can get to the top right there, but just realize it's going to be a bit of an adventure along the way. Sometimes that's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I want to leave you on this portion of the presentation before I go to the live charts and talk a little bit about what you really need to get a full-time income in trading. And I won't go into this in a lot of detail. We did it a few days ago on the futures side, but we showed in a really great spreadsheet, a capital income spreadsheet, that with just $50 a day on average, you can absolutely build yourself to a full-time income. Remember, this is not get rich quick or get poor quick. That is not what you're trying to do. These are some daily averages with some of the different trading plans in the Forex with the PTU. This is all you need. You do not need to make 25% per trade, 50% per trade. If you do that, you're just playing a game. You're just a gambler. You're not going to be able to put together a successful trading career. All right, so what I want to do now is I'm going to go ahead and, obviously these are all good points, but I want to jump to the actual charts here. I'm going to bring this up. Okay, and I'm going to start with, I want to show you a few things about the PTU2. And this is the strategy, one of the main strategies that comes with the university. And I want to show you, how the trades always have that exact entry, targets, and stops. And these are all swing trades on the Forex. And then I'm going to hand this off to Troy here in just a few minutes. And he's going to take you through the trend jumper on Forex as well, which uses the daily charts, which is an amazing way to trade Forex. But this is the Euro Yen. Okay, this is actually bars that are called range bars. So we teach you how to trade with range bars. I want to point out, let's point out this buy trade here. This is January 4th, so just this month. Take a look when I bring up the data window at a few things here that are very, very specific about this trade. And I'm going to go ahead and let me see if I can point these out with, mark up the screen a little bit. So you notice the long entry is 115.00, exact entry. The target 2 is exact. You know that you're going to 115.53. Interestingly, it went just about to 115.53 and almost no further. Now, that doesn't always happen, but it's amazing, and Troy will back this up. It's amazing sometimes how often our systems will literally get every last part of the move out of it. I mean, look at the short here. That happened just a bit later. Same exact thing. I mean, almost to the pip, it went ahead and pivoted back around, but first we had our full target. But this is the key. We also had an exact stop, okay, on this trade. So when you take a trade with the Premier Trader University, everything is laid out for you on the chart. So it's visual. You know that this is the money management line where we raise the stop from down here all the way up here. And you also know where target 2 is. This never changes. This never goes away. This is never a variable. You can trade calmly and relaxed and assuredly when you trade with structure like this. It also means you can't expect, like we mentioned, every trade to work. Here's a buy trade that was for us, was against us, was for us, was against us, was for us. But you know what? I did end up having to reverse to a short that ended up working great. But that's perfectly fine because look at this chop up and down. And we stayed on this trade, right, the entire time until ultimately the market just did not have enough upside to get to our target 1, our target 2. But I was perfectly satisfied with that result because if I can get through chop with no trade or one trade, I know that I'm going to get setups like this. They're going to happen soon thereafter. Just to kind of give you a quick, overview of, where this has been over the last few months. Now, this is trading, just so you know, a standard size pair. Of course, not everybody's going to trade a standard size pair. You may trade a mini or a couple minis or whatever the case may be, and typically multiple pairs. We've had very consistent trading. January has, again, continued right on with what we saw in November and December, and it continues to be successful overall. Let's go ahead and look at another pair. What I want you to see when I go to, let's go to the pound yen, is everything looks exactly the same. The only real difference, in this case, I'll move this out of the way, is the fact there's a little difference on compression. There's a little more spread out. But this is just recent trading here, as you can see on the chart. We're actually right now in a short from here. We barely missed the full target here. We'll teach you a few things about what happens when you barely miss a target. We did have a profit stop here, but there's something that we would have done right here overall on the target 2. But came out with a nice short here. This short wasn't always straight to target, right? It went against us a little bit on the 8th, yesterday. Well, actually, that was earlier today. And then full target and another profitable trade here. The thing I want to point out is on a short side, what do you have? Short entry 140.64. Target 1, money management. Target 2, 140.14. Everything structured on the chart in advance. You never have to wait. You'll always know before you get in the market the exact target, the exact stop. Very, very methodical overall. Here's obviously the pound yen, been producing very nicely. January has already started in great shape overall. Looking at the Euro Aussie, right? Remember, I'm talking about some of the different pairs. A lot of you I know aren't trading some of these pairs. But again, another example of a really nice short here. Here's an example of a buy that didn't work. And right now we're in a live short. We're doing pretty good. We're not at target yet, but we have the exact target. Where am I getting out of this market? I don't have to wonder anymore. I don't have to kind of stress out about it. I've been given by the system my exact target. All my job is to place this target in the system. That's it. All right, one more example, and I got to hand it off to Troy. I know we're taking, I don't want to take too much time here overall on this. You kind of get the idea. This is what we're calling our new breakout strategy. This is the Euro US. A lot of people, want to see the market on the Euro US on a swing trade. So this starts here at the first of the year. We had this buy. We end up hitting full target. Do you notice that everything is structured again, right? Entry, target, stop. Here's a short trade. This was trade number 2. We hit target. Kind of scrolling along. Trade number 3, doesn't look good there, hits target. That's 3 in a row. Trade number 4, entry, not looking so good. target. All right, so 4 in a row. Now, they're not always going to win, right? We're going to eventually get on to a move that's not going to work. Going up and down, up and down, up and down, still hanging in there. Now we have a reversal. Only a partial loss on that one. And we go long, chop, full target. So we get a nice redemption. Here's a short, up, down, have to take a stop, but we get right back on a long that goes to full target. Next trade is a short, down to full target. And that's just what we just finished earlier today. So this is with the breakout strategy. Again, very reliable, very dependable. Troy, let me hand it off to you. I know you want to show some of the Forex trades on the daily charts. So you've got the mic and the presentation.
All right. Hello, everybody. Thanks for all that great information, Mark. I fully agree. Those are the 10 things that you have to pay attention to. I've got a short list also that has caused me to really reduce my trading down to a very, very simple strategy. I use daily charts so that I only need to look at my charts once a day at the end of the day. I spend a few minutes placing my trades, managing my trades, and then I shut it down and I don't look at it again until the same time the next day or sometime at the end of the day the next day. For me, it's very simple like that. Trend Jumper has some things in common with the PTU strategy that Mark just showed you. Mainly, one of the most important things is structure. You heard Mark mention that a few times. Structure on the chart is so important because otherwise you're just looking at a bunch of bars and it becomes, you know, this subjective exercise of trying to interpret the bars. And, you know, and there's the common way that most people look for support and resistance, and if the MACD does this and the EMA does that. But in the end, you know, and this we saw in the survey actually, which we see all the time, it's the structure that makes a difference. You want to have exact entries, exact targets, an exact stop, and then a real easy way to place those trades, and of course a winning edge so that if you continue to trade the plan, you're going to grow your account. You did see those results that Mark showed earlier. The Trend Jumper is quite effective. Before I show it to you in great detail, I want to just kind of look at this one chart here. It's the pound yen. We're going to look at this trade on the right and then go forward. This is starting November 19th. But before I do, let's just look at some of these trades leading up to it. I'm just going to pick, let's just pick this trade. The green dotted line is the backbone of the system. If you see a setup like this where you have a plus sign and dots above, that means you're going to go long because it's above the green line. Okay, if you see one over here where it's below the green line, that means you're going to go short. So instantly you know if you're going long or short. I mean, it didn't take me any time to figure it out, and that's really great. The plus sign here is always going to be your entry. Okay, so I'm just going to put a horizontal line over the entry. When I click on the setup bar, you're going to see the trades over here in the data window. You have your entry, you have some targets up here. These are these dots, right? And then you've got your stop. So there's no guessing. You have a precise trade setup. Every single Trend Jumper trade is going to look like this. We're going to go to the third target, see? So every single trade has a 2-to-1 risk-reward ratio where we're going to risk this amount here in order to gain this amount. And that's just with one of the positions. The Trend Jumper goes a little bit deeper than that. We're going to trade it with 2 positions, and we're also going to build our position if we get the opportunity to do so. Some of the best profits in Forex comes from 1 to 3 major moves per year in the market with end-of-day charts. And what Trend Jumper is going to do is it's going to identify when the momentum is increasing in the direction of your profit objective and allow you to actually add to your position. That's one of the benefits of Forex, is that you can tailor the size of your trade. So if you have a large trade, you could put on a smaller position. And if you're building a position, you don't have to, you know, go in with 100-to-1 leverage that these brokers give you. The wise thing to do is to, like Mark was saying, keep your risk small. Risk 2% per trade. You got the nice risk-reward ratio, and even when you hit the losers, you're going to be fine. You want to be in the game to be able to catch those huge moves that occur 1 to 3 times every year per pair. The other thing that this gives you a huge advantage of, apart from mitigating all those pitfalls that Mark and Brian explained to you about trying to day trade, where the broker becomes your worst enemy, is that you mitigate with the size of these trades. These are end-of-day trades, and so there's no way they can chase you down. The trades are just too big. Okay, so notice how all these trades look the same. They have different colors, which mean different kinds of setups, but they're all 2 to 1. Okay, you've got this long trade here, hits the target. You got this trade here. It goes for quite some time, and it actually stops out. We could actually add to our position. That one stops out, and this one stops out. So you actually got 3 losses in a row, and then you've got a short trade that ultimately breaks even, okay, because of the way we do our money management. And that leads us to this trade here on the 19th of November. And this led us into the end of the year. Now just follow along as I click forward. Notice that 2 days it grabbed 156 pips, and the stop moved from here to here, making our second position risk-free. Now look what happens as you go. I mean, this trade just ended today, and this is why I chose this chart. Okay, this trade literally ended today. What's the date today? January 8th. Okay, this is November 19th. And look what happened. I'll just speed forward and show you. It just stopped out right here on this bar. It actually just stopped out a little while ago. So the point is this. I spent very little time managing this trade. On a few occasions, I was able to add to my position, each one with the 1 to 2 risk-reward ratio. This trade here that started back on the 19th just stopped out. The second position grabbed 989 pips. Now, how many day trades do you have to make to capture 989 pips? And imagine what my trade cost was, the cost of spread on just one trade. This one here, because of the rules, ended up breaking even, but this one was a full winner. I took some off at 183 pips and trailed the second position on up along with the earlier trade. This one here also. I mean, I'm taking every single setup the Trend Jumper gives me with Forex, and one of the reasons is because I can put small risk on each trade. This entire trade, it's actually 4 trades, and then there's this one here. I only went in with 1 position because that's the rules I follow, and it's still going actually. It's under pressure. Stop is right around here. Okay, but the rest of it has come off. 2,919 pips, not 29,000, 2919. And that's just this one trade, or call it 4 trades if you want. So, I mean, this is what I think is the best way to trade Forex, swing trading, because you can take advantage of the big moves when they happen, and you can pick up profits along the way, even when it's choppy. Yeah, you're going to lose some, but you saw how the losses were small versus the winners, and it's just a really great way to go. Just show you a couple more here. I mean, obviously the yen pairs have been really hot. The euro yen, this one's close to stopping out too. I mean, it's the same story, not quite the same as the pound yen, but over 916 pips. That one getting in on the same day. Same strategy, same everything, same structure. I mean, I'm looking at 25 different pairs. And the thing is, you might think that's a lot, but it really isn't, because I'm only getting a handful of trades a week. And that keeps me active enough. And with the end of day, I remove myself from the equation, so I don't have to sit there and fret. I don't have to listen to that Tom Petty song over and over again and waiting, because I really don't care. I mean, I just open my charts at the end of the day. If there's a trade set up, I place a trade. If there isn't, I don't. So here's a trade I just placed. In fact, I placed this right as we were doing this webinar. It's the pound Aussie, and it's going short right here. This trade is just triggering in even as I'm speaking. And win or lose, I really don't care, because I already know some trades are going to lose. That's just a fact of trading. If you don't like it, don't trade, because you're fooling yourself to think that you're not going to get some losses. You are. It's what you do with the losses, is how you manage them, and it's also being in there so that you can get the winners and making a business out of it. That's how you prosper with Forex. So, Mark, I don't know. I mean, I could look at charts. We could look at more pairs, but I figured that pretty much sums it up. So let me hand it back to you.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you, Troy. I mean, the key, I think, that whenever I look at that is that ratio, that 2 to 1. I mean, it's pretty neat to be able to lose twice and win once and basically be break even. And when you see that we can rattle off multiple winners in a row and have that 2 to 1 ratio, I think that's the key. And I think you also made a real great point at the very end there. You got to be in the market, right? You got to be in there in order to be able to be successful. And too many people chase themselves out because they have a few losers. They don't know exactly why they lost because they don't have that trade plan. They don't have the education to know that, hey, this is okay. This is what I've been taught. This is what I've been shown. There's nothing unusual about it. And they stay in. And then you, like you say, you get that JPY crosses that went crazy. Before that, they were very choppy for a couple months, but we all knew that they are going to come to life, and it happens over and over again through the months and through the years. So with the Premier Trader University, what this is, this gives you the opportunity to have this type of education and these exact trading strategies to create what we call lifestyle traders. You know, and this is about being balanced in time and effort, getting your goals achieved. It may be full-time income, part-time income, emergency income, whatever the case may be. This is something that we are looking for, but we want to balance it by not having to trade, like Brian was mentioning, the third shift. You definitely, absolutely do not have to do that. So the way that it works, the way that you can get involved in this and enrolled, is just 3 easy steps. We break it down. We make it very easy to follow. I hope you see that's how we do everything. That's how our systems are. They're very exact. They're very clear on the charts. That's just how we do things here. Step 1 is the prerequisites. Step 2 is the undergraduate, just like a school. Step 3 is the major. The way the prereqs work is when you enroll, today you can start with the home study right away. And prereqs are just like in college. I guess call it like the high school, right? This is where you go through course material. It's been recorded by our coaching team. It's the best of the best. Okay, our coaching team knows exactly what it takes to succeed in real life, real-time trading. We can kind of toss away 90% of the rest of the stuff that's a lot of fluff. So we focus on things that are going to really matter in your trading. And the reason we do this is we know if you'll go through this, and if you're very advanced, you'll go through this really quickly. If you're a beginner or advanced beginner, you should go through all of it. But that means when we start the live undergraduate class, everybody will be on the same page. We've already done this 5 other times. This has been a huge advantage. Everybody, when they come into the undergraduate, it's not like everybody's like, oh, I don't really get what this is or what that is. We've really been able to dive right into what you guys want to learn right away, which is teach me these trading systems and teach me how to use them effectively and profitably in my trading right away. So we cover all types of things, pros and cons of market and style, like we've covered here tonight, where we've covered in detail Forex and day trading versus swing trading, you know, picking the best brokers, the best charting platforms, the best charts, the style of charts, daily charts, range bars, momentum bars, tick bars. All of this is covered in the prerequisites. In addition, very important, having the best software and hardware set up for yourself, right? We talked about resolution, I think it was 7, right? No free tools, no cheap tools. You know, technical analysis. We're very much system-based and technical-based, but what you're going to find is there's hundreds of books at Amazon and technical analysis. You can throw away most of them, okay? You don't need most of them. We only cover what really matters and what's going to get you to be a successful Forex trader. Risk management, trade psychology, approaching this as a business venture. I'm going through those quickly because we cover them in detail in the prerequisites, the undergraduate, and the major. They're all very, very important. Once we get through the undergraduate or get through the prerequisites, we'll start with the live undergraduate training. The great thing about our live training is you do it in the comfort of your home or office, just like you are now, using the same technology, record the entire 2 days. We get through it quickly and efficiently, but if you can't attend live, it's no problem. You can replay. If you attended live and there's something that you want to kind of absorb again, it's always archived and always available for you. So it's really the beauty of doing live in the market training. It's the real benefit and the real great thing that we have. We do it while the markets are open. The goal of the undergraduate is to get you literally finishing the undergraduate education to where you can actually start trading the strategy. And hopefully you'll follow the resolution and trade 25 in demo mode and then move into live trading. You'll have access to all of the PTU2 trading strategies, Forex, futures, and stock and options, all of the PTU2 trend jumper strategies, futures, and all the Forex that you just saw that Troy showed you. Thousands of pips that you saw, that's included in the education. How to master trade management, watching out for what we call chart level resistance, key level support and resistance. We really teach you how to be a trader, not just somebody who's kind of following something on a chart, but understanding what's happening on the chart and actually being able to actually improve what you see happening on the chart. Choosing the best market and the best time of day. I tell people all the time that if you start at one time and you were to start 5 minutes later, I have seen trade plans and markets get 50% more profits or 50% less profits just by moving backwards and forwards a few minutes in a start time. All of this is disclosed to you. We've been doing this for years. We've already done all the hard work for you and figured out the best markets to trade, how to trade them, what the proper risk is, and how you can go ahead and create and execute in your live account, which is the only place, right, you'll make money is in that live account, and that's what we show you. You then move on to the majors. These are really cool because we have all of them available to you. So a lot of you are in here on Forex. You'll probably start with the Forex major, but you will also have available to you futures and stock and options because as your account grows, you're going to want to have the ability to diversify across. Maybe you want to start moving a little bit of your account, if it gets large, into stocks and options. The same goes for futures. Maybe you want to day trade. I would much prefer you day trade in futures than in Forex. Perfect opportunity. That's what the majors are for. We can really hyper-focus specifically on Forex or futures or stocks. We cover all the advanced techniques, all the exact trade plans. I mean, we'll be exactly like pound US. Here's how you trade it. Here's the style. Here's the strategy. You just need to follow the roadmap that we'll lay out for you. Just some of the futures markets. We didn't cover futures tonight, but we have all kinds of great opportunities, in particular day trading the futures. In Forex, we showed you some of the pairs, the big ones, and actually the undercover pairs. That's where the undercover profits are. You guys get to unearth that. Troy showed you just some of the great opportunities. I showed you some of the opportunities in Forex. There's just an endless number of opportunities overall. Stock and options, if you want to work into that, this is kind of the secret, maybe, of trading. It used to be what everybody did. Everybody got away from it. And you know what? The stock and options traders, they keep making money. So this is something you can eventually work into. And the great thing is when you learn the systems, they work the same way as you move into different instruments and different types and styles of markets. You have access and you receive all three majors. The PTU, the education is all inclusive. Now, just real quick to show you what does training bring to you? Look, I'm all about making sure that, number one, the systems mechanically work well. If you were just to follow the systems and the signals on the charts, you would be successful. And that's great, right? That's that first column there, PTU system. The next column over, system plus training, this shows you what you can do with what we teach you in the undergraduate and the major with the exact same setups. Notice the boost in profits overall. No additional time, no additional effort, percentage increase in bottom line, 32% to 84%. So I ask you, is training worth the while? Is education worth the while? I'll say it is. If I don't have to work any harder and I can bump my account 32%, you can sign me up. And that's really what you get when you learn to go beyond just what you see on the chart. Lots of results, lots of ways to make this an incredible investment for yourself in 2013. Here's a cross-section futures results over just a 6-week period. I kind of want to show you that things happen and they happen quickly. Forex swing trading plans over the same 6-week period. Some day trading, and yes, we have some day trading Forex plans. It may not be where I want you to start, but you know what? If it's an area you want to get involved in, we do make that available to you. And also, like I mentioned, when you build that account up and that account gets big, you're going to want to have the opportunity to start getting involved in stock and option trading and really, bringing in some of that premium and some of that scale, right? The scale on stock and options is incredible. All that's just the beginning. All the results above are just based upon the mechanical, not based upon the training. So we can take these results and even do them one better. Some of the results off the trend jumper, in day trading futures, Troy's had just great success in the energy futures, crude oil. In fact, lately, things like heating oil and unleaded gas have been amazing. Russell Mini, if you're more into the day trading on the futures, really great. We love the Russell Mini, and probably the Dowie Mini might be two favorites. Wheat, another favorite, and agriculturals that people don't even think about. So much hidden profits there to be unearthed. You've already seen the swing trading results. Troy's showing you just some of what's been happening even early here in 2013. Great year overall for a number of pairs. And one of the nice things about trading this style on swing trading is you don't need to guess, is 2013 going to be the year of the euro yen like it was in 2012, 6,000 pips? Or maybe it's going to be the year of the New Zealand CAD, which was profitable in 2012, but it wasn't the big profit in 2012. You know what? A lot of times what I find is things flip. So it wouldn't be surprising to look at some of these results at the end of 2013, and we're probably going to see some completely reverse, and some do just as well or better. But that's the beauty of trading this way on the Forex. You no longer have to pick which pair is going to be the winner. That's really, really hard to do, especially on a go-forward basis. We've had lots of great testimonials that have come in from people who have gone through any of our first set of classes. I believe we're already through 4, maybe even 5 undergraduate classes already. Paul saying, first class product, best package you've offered. Frank, very complete, found the support very helpful. Dimitri, still can't thank you enough for what you've done for me and what you have meant to me. Obviously, when we get comments like this is what motivates us to keep working as hard as we do for all of you with the university. Maurice, fantastic, thoroughly put together and super informative. Looking forward to working with PTU and NetPicks for a long time. Adnian says, the only system in the world that I've ever came across that I can intellectually be comfortable with to trade. And he makes a great point, because you need to get it. You need to understand it. You need to understand when you've got losses and winners and streaks, intellectually be able to keep going. That's what turns this into a full-time occupation. Randy doing extremely well, actually talking about trading here full-time with the PTU and with the trend jumper, and doing extremely well, and actually being staked with other people's money, so even better, managing somebody else's funds, taking a profit with that. One of the things we always like to point out, those of you who are already, I know in the audience, I've got some people who are on Trend Jumper already. When you upgrade into the university, you get some really neat exclusives. And if you're new to the university, you're going to get all of this. And in the Trend Jumper, we developed and came out with just this month, the Pro Calculator. It does all kinds of intelligent things: stop movement, trade management, scaling, trailing, add-on trades. A lot of the things that we had to manually do and remember are now all done by the calculator, and all we have to do is just literally follow what the chart is telling us to do. We're going to have additional trade plans come out. Automation, we call it Trade Assist Automation, is coming out at the end of the month. That's only available to people inside of the university. We're going to see stock and option plans rolled out. So all kinds of neat things, plus much deeper education on what to do and use with the Trend Jumper. So if you're already in Trend Jumper, you definitely want to go ahead and upgrade into this. If you're not, you're going to get the best of the best, the complete all-inclusive, as you see laid out here on the screen. So when does the undergraduate class start? Well, immediately you guys will enroll today. You'll start with the prereq. You've got a nice amount of time to go through it at a methodical pace. We then start the live training January 22nd and 23rd. Just coming up really in a couple weeks. I mean, this is awesome. So it's almost perfect timing, really. Those get recorded. You can stream them to whatever fits your schedule. I encourage you to come live. You'll get the most out of it, but I realize sometimes people can't. We don't sit there and do, 12 hours a day either. Don't worry. We really efficiently go through it. It's done by myself, and really the entire NetPicks coaching team gets involved in teaching you the PTU and all the strategies. After the undergrad, you can self-pace yourself and go through the major programs. Whatever feels good on pacing, you can be trading live before you even go through the majors, but it's going to make you that much better of a trader when you go through those. And then, of course, we've got live training calls with the coaching team as well. We'll talk about that here in a moment. Now, a couple really big extras. We've talked about the Trend Jumper is included in the university. We try to make that clear. Much more expensive outside of the university because it has a monthly. You don't have that at all. Once you enroll inside the university, the monthly goes away. You also get 2 private one-on-ones. These are great to do after the undergraduate and after the major. We like to work with you one-on-one. It's sometimes easier. You can go over your specific situation, your account. You may want to share some information that you want in a small group. Perfect opportunity to do that. And we've got live in the market where we don't know what's happening next, training every week, and really the best support in the business. But let's talk about the live training. And really, rarely do you see this. We do 4 days a week live in the market. It was 2 days last year. We doubled it. We're now doing 4 days a week live in the market, the best way in the world, really, to learn how to be a successful trader. And in January, we're also starting European business hours a couple of days a week. We have a coach that's been with us for quite some time, a very successful full-time trader, James Kessick, and he's going to be managing and running the live room for those of you who prefer European hours. If you're in Australia, New Zealand, Europe, etc., we're going to have that as well. So European and U.S., great way to learn, great way to master the strategy, and also share with the rest of the PTU community. All right, there is a scholarship available. TradeStation will actually reimburse you the cost of the tuition over time through your trading. Now, this is more really focused on futures trading, but even if you're doing just Forex trading, you can get their platform for free for 6 months. You can get, if you eventually do futures or stock and options, $500 in commission rebates. If you eventually do futures or stock and options, you can get the tuition reimbursement. So even if you don't get it on day one, they literally will set you up to where you can get reimbursed up to 100% of what you go ahead and pay for the enrollment in the PTU. So overall, let's just kind of run through what you get when you enroll in the PTU. It's an $18,000 value, $17,972. You get all the PTU systems, stocks, Forex, futures, all the PTU Trend Jumper, the Forex swing trade plans, all the Forex plans, the futures plans on the day trading side. All the indicators we showed you, the trading calculators, they do all the heavy lifting for you, exact entries and exact exits. The self-paced home study course, which we talked about, the awesome 2-day live, fully recorded and archived undergraduate training that will literally have you up and running and trading these plans as soon as you finish the undergraduate training. That's this month, right? This is not your typical 4-year university. We get you up and running very, very quickly. You also have access to all the majors, no additional cost. You get all the majors, self-pace it, start in February and March. We don't care when, it's all there for you. And you get trade plans literally in dozens of markets. So whatever place in the world you are, whatever size account you have, there's going to be something for you. You've got the great Trend Jumper exclusives that we've already talked about only in the university, the coaching sessions, the live in the market trading, the lifetime access to the Owners Club. There's no monthly recurring. That's probably going to change this year. We're going to be making a shift on that, but right now you will get grandfathered in, and there will be no ongoing charges for the monthly Owners Club, which has training, videos, walkthroughs, trade plans, interacting with coaches and the students, great stuff, and then the best support in the business, phone, email, live chat, whatever it takes to make sure that you guys get everything you need. So the cost, if you're a first-time new customer to NetPicks, it's $39.97, or just a 4-pay if you need a payment plan of $9.99 and you own everything for life, no ongoing. If you already have a NetPicks course, we're taking $1,000 off that, basically a full rebate on that investment, and dropping it down to $29.97, or you can do a 4-pay of just $7.49 if that's easier for you. And by the way, the payment plans have no extra, no interest, nothing like that, just so you know. If you're a Trend Jumper owner, it's just $2,000. We're taking another $9.97 off. That was your investment originally on Trend Jumper. We're giving you a full rebate on that, so you can keep everything with Trend Jumper, get all the new hot Trend Jumper stuff, and the PTU2, and the great education. Everything all-inclusive. We started last week with 30 seats. 13 went out at the last webinar. We have 17 seats left for this class, so you absolutely should take advantage of this. I want to kind of, maybe sweeten the deal a little bit more, a couple things. There is a 100% satisfaction guarantee 45 days. This is truly risk-free. This will change your trading life. If it doesn't, you can get a full refund. All that I ask is you review the prerequisites, you attend the live undergraduate class or watch the full replays, you actually install the indicators and use the systems for 25 trades, do it live, do a demo, just say, here, look, it's not working for me, we'll give you a full refund. That's all I'm asking you to do is just go through the motions to show and prove to yourself that you're going to be successful. Everybody who has done that has been successful. So if you'll just do that 25 trade, like that 2013 resolution, you're going to be satisfied. But if not, I want you to realize and know that there's a complete risk-free guarantee. We've been doing this 17 years, and we stand behind that. One additional thing to throw in, kind of sweeten the deal, only for people here listening to the live webinar. We did this last week. It's pretty fun. A lot of people really like this. If you pay in full, we're going to take another $500 off right now. It's valid only during the webinar. So this is why we're talking here. This is to kind of reward you guys for being here. I should say the code is 1213. You need to select the code when you check out, and you will drop an additional $500 off. So here's how it works overall. You go to netpicks.com/PTUnew. If you're brand new to us, it's $39.97. Take the $500 discount. It drops it down to $34.97, or you can do the 4-pay, like we mentioned, at $9.99. If you're a course owner already, take the PTU family. It's $1,000 less. It's $29.97 plus use the coupon and save another $500. You drop it down to $24.97, or you can do the 4-pay. I believe it was $749. And if you already own the Trend Jumper, you drop another $997 off, goes down to $2,000. And yes, you also get, if you're here live, the $500 discount. So we'll drop you down to $1,500 overall, which is ridiculous. That's probably going to go away. We made the promise last year in December that we would give people the chance to upgrade into the university. We did it last week once. We're doing it today. You know, I don't know how many more of these webinars we'll have. Obviously, the seats are going. That's probably a special that's going to go away. So take advantage of that for sure. The thing that I want to point out that's always important, and I'll bring the links back up in a moment, is, you know, you always want to look at how quickly can you get your investment back. There are a lot of, well, there's only a few really quality academies or universities or training companies out there. Typically, for most of them, it's $3,000 to $5,000 to start, and there's a level 1, a level 2, a level 3. If you want to add futures, it's another set of level 1, 2, 3. Most people end up spending $20,000 to $25,000. I think that's entirely not necessary. This is one-time, all-inclusive, I think at very reasonable price points for what we deliver to you. But I always look at numbers like this. How quickly can I get my money back? And can I get my money back? That's very important. You've got the risk-free guarantee. You've got the trade plans that are clearly working and are very effective in Forex, in futures, in stock and options. Troy already talked about how he can look at his charts literally once a day and trade the Forex the way that he showed you, right? I mean, just to have that and walk away with that, but you're going to get all that and a lot more, and the ability to really scale this up to a significant business and to expand into other markets as you go. So I'll bring the links back up. I know this is Q&A time. I'm sure Brian's probably been answering the questions like mad as we've went along. Excuse me. Brian, do you want me to just kind of go back and look at maybe ones you haven't answered or encourage people to start asking questions? How do you want to do it?
Well, yes, Mark, for sure. People, you can start asking questions at any point. I have been answering those interactively in real time. A few questions here that were kind of common. I'll read one of them here for the group is what platforms do we support at Premier Trader University? And the answer to that is TradeStation and NinjaTrader. So both of those platforms can be used to run the indicators, and that's what we do our training on.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Brian. And oh, sorry, go ahead. No, go.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, I was going to say, and you've got the ability to get TradeStation for 6 months if you don't already have it. If you don't have NinjaTrader, they've got the ability to download and start using that right away. In some cases, you can actually even get it for free. You know, I know some of you probably are a MetaTrader in the Forex world, and that's fine. But you're going to find to trade this type and this style of platform, you're going to want to have the ability to do the range bar plans, the tick bar plans, the daily charts. I know you can do with MetaTrader, but you can't do everything else. So that's why we really encourage you to be on, like we said, one of the resolutions, that top-level professional trade platforms. But you can continue to trade at whatever broker you're with right now. It can be a MetaTrader broker. That's perfectly acceptable. Trade wherever your account is and wherever you're happy. We just chart on those two platforms. Okay, so let me see. Does this mean you are using range bars and Renko? Yes. In the PTU, we use range bars almost consistently across the board. In the trend jumper, we use tick bars, which are very similar to range bars as far as what they're trying to do. And we also use the daily bars overall. So that answers that question there. Let's see what else we've got here. Just looking through, I see Brian's answered some of these. Have been trying to wrap my mind around day trading Forex for the last 4 years, getting close, able to hold my own, which is great, Marvin. The thing that I'm going to say, if you're day trading Forex and you're holding your own on demo, unfortunately, what I find a lot of people, when they actually go to a live account with any real significant funds, it does not replicate what was happening for you in demo. The feeds are different typically. The executions are almost always guaranteed, and suddenly you go to live, and that just doesn't happen. We don't really experience that on futures in the day trading side, so that's why we really encourage people, if you want to day trade initially, start with futures, swing trade the Forex. Terry was asking, this will be for TJ, I think on you had maybe a stop on the pound Aussie, maybe what your stop was. Maybe just tell them kind of what the initial stop was in pips, but also what your target was, which I assume would be double of whatever that stop was. What time is end of day while he's looking that up for TradeStation for Forex? So that is 5 p.m. New York time. But if you're using daily bars, it's typical that you don't have to be there at 5 p.m. You can come in many times hours later and still place the setup, get in sync with the setup. We do that all the time on the PTU too. We don't have to catch those setups that I showed you in real time. Almost every setup is available to us multiple times over a number of hours. So what I don't want you to do is trade the PTU and feel like you've got to, be there in real time. Because remember, this is lifestyle trading. It's definitely not the case. All right, TJ, did you pull that up? Or I'm not sure if hopefully you're still on the mic with us.
Oh, I had my mic muted. Sorry. They want the trade setup for the current short trade on the pound Aussie.
Yeah, I think somebody was asking for the stop on it. So just either you can give the specific stop or just the number of pips, and then maybe what the target is as well.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so the entry was at 52.74, and right now it's at 5263. So it's definitely short. It triggered in, and the stop is at 5378, and then on top of that, you're going to add some spread. Okay, so you got to see what the pound Aussie spread. Typically, I think that's about 4 or 5 pips. So you want to add that to the buy side of the trade. So let's see, yeah, about 5 pips. So if the stop is at 5378, you put yours in at 5383. You'd be good there. And then the target is 5080. And again, you want to add spread because that's the buy side of the trade. So put your target at 5086. Be a little conservative. And that's about a 2-to-1 risk-reward ratio. So that's
the key, I think, is that that ratio is so compelling. And then what TJ showed you, if that move really starts to take off to the downside, he'll have additional add-on opportunities, and that could end up being hundreds of pips on the trailing side as well. So I wanted to welcome aboard a few people that I see signed up, and Daryl L, Jennifer, I hope I said that right, H, spelled a little different than I'm used to seeing, and then Paulo R. So welcome aboard to the three of you who have signed up and enrolled. Let's go ahead and answer some more questions here. Yeah, so the questions on how much time in the Owners Club do you get in the live rooms, and I think Brian answered that. Just to make that clear, this is a one-time, all-in, all-inclusive, and I do want to also make it clear that the $500 instant discount on the lifetime ownership is for the live webinar here. So I know in a way we're saying, you got to make the decision to do it, but I do like to reward people who are ready to go and ready to enroll. Either way you look at it, whether you do the full pay or do the for pay, you have everything covered. All the trade plans, all the majors, the 4 days a week training, access to the Owners Club, which is updated throughout the week, every week. I mean, this is a true all-inclusive education. This isn't about just delivering a piece of software to your door and saying, hey, good luck to you. This is the exact opposite of that. So, we really feel we're just getting started once you enroll with us. The relationship is nowhere near over at that point. Tim, I guess you were having some issue ordering, not order from the website. Let me bring up for you a couple things here. You can see on the screen, maybe email us, or the live chat might be going. Typically, we've got people working the live chat, or you can, of course, give us a call. The number is probably, I'm not sure that they're, since we're after business hours, if the staff is working those or not, but by all means, let us know, email or live chat or phone, and we can get you all set up. And there are ongoing educational webinars like this. Obviously, the resolutions that we presented here today, there's a whole schedule. Some more that are coming up. We have one on Saturday, I believe, and next week. And you can just go to Premier Trader University. If you don't want to do that long, crazy link, and just click the training lessons at the homepage. So you can do that as well. Let me bring this back up. Okay, so let me see what other questions we have here.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
Just a few more people to welcome on board here.
Great.
So we've got 3 more. Welcome to Sue B., Graham J., and Sven A. So I wonder if Sven's from Sweden by chance. But anyways, welcome to the 3 of you. Welcome on board.
Yeah, awesome. Glad to hear it. Glad to see they all came on board. Do appreciate it. Obviously, the things for you guys to focus on first is the prerequisites and go through the home study course. I think you'll get a lot out of that, which will be great. And Graham just said thanks. So yeah, we appreciate it, Graham, and great job there. And then we'll have you up to speed, like I said, in just under 2 weeks, or 2 weeks to tonight, basically, or to this morning. We'll be jumping right into the undergrad. So this is going to happen quick for you guys. And if you're anything like me, you're probably a little impatient. I know I told you to be patient in one of the resolutions, but it's always a little bit of an impatient thing to get started, but we'll get you up to speed as quick as possible. Let me see what else we've got here. Missed a few minutes. Will real trading mirror demo trading on Forex swing trading? I find on swing trading, it almost always does. The reason being is you have to be very, very precise on day trading. What you find is, when you're trying to scalp out those 5, 10, 15 pips versus when we're going for a very large target, we almost always go through our targets. It's a whole different world. We don't have a stop and a target inside of market noise, which you have many times on day trading. The moves that we're looking for are not inside the noise, okay? When you're looking for 50 pips, 100 pips or more, that's not the jitters that you get on the day trading side. So I don't see any reason why. The other thing is the way that you'll go ahead and use the leverage that we're suggesting, and you're going to be kind of scaling in on positions and trading across multiple pairs. Really shouldn't have an issue with that as well. Now, with that, said, you need to be at a high quality broker. You need to make sure you're at a broker that you really trust in Forex. I always tell people, I should have made it a resolution, really, that you should be taking money out of your account on a regular basis. Don't leave your profits in the account. Leave the profits in to help you scale your position size, but use the capital spreadsheet that we show you, the capital income spreadsheet, that will have you start to take out a monthly income, because I don't like to keep any more than I have to at any broker. So just make sure you go through your due diligence. Pick a broker that's not going to have liquidity issues. What you may not know, because there is no centralized pricing, is each individual broker has to sign up and work with different banks and liquidity providers. You don't know if your broker has only 1 on the back end or 7. It makes a huge difference. So you want to work with the best of the best. Clyde's asking, do you have any smaller plans for one-day swing and ultimate swing trading? Well, the good news for you, Clyde, is you get the full $1,000 discount. So actually, you get fully rebated, if actually more, on the PTU family. So you may want to take advantage of that. So you do qualify for that. Everything seems geared for US or European time. So Russell, best bet for you, if you're even concerned about that, is just go off the daily charts. Those actually set up in Asian market hours. So I think that that might be perfect for your situation. Oh, the promo code, sorry, somebody's asking for that. Let me bring that back up. Where was that? There it is, 1213. But we put it on the order form. You just need to select it to make sure you get the discount. So just do the little pull down. You'll see it on the order form, and that'll process through for you the discount. So appreciate you asking that. So hopefully that makes sense. Richard, yeah, I mean, we've worked with TradeStation for, geez, I've been probably worked with them since the mid-90s. So I worked with them way back when I literally brought the data in through, gosh, I think it was a cable, over the cable TV is where they brought the data in. Another time I actually had them, drill into my driveway to bring a data line in, an ISDN line in, if you believe that. So, I mean, I feel I've been working with them for literally about 17 years, and I do feel that they are trustworthy. And certainly the platform's amazing. Ellen says, what percentage of your account would you risk in any one trade? So TJ, kind of what's your take on that with your trade plans on the Forex?
Well, I usually go with 2% per trade. So, that's what I do.
And I would tell people as your account grows, you're going to start to get that percentage down. Like when I started, like for instance, on futures and day trading, I was at 2%, probably actually more to be honest. But now I'm way under 1%. And that's what we typically encourage you to do. As you grow and you scale your business, start to bring that risk down because you still have tremendous ability to scale a business by trading bigger position size. You don't work any harder trading 1 versus 5. But at the same time, I want to make sure my drawdowns as a percentage of my account, as my account grows, gets lower. I want my feeling of risk to go down. You start to go more into capital preservation as your account size grows. Tim, yes, you can use TradeStation for futures and Ninja Trader, I should say, for Forex. You just need to, we'll set your license up a particular way, but you absolutely can do that, and we're not going to charge you extra for that. Let's see, I tried Ninja. They said I would not use the platform. Sorry, Alan, I'm not sure I followed that one, but maybe you can provide a few more specifics. James, what kind of leverage would you suggest is what James said. So I'm the same thing. Sometimes I know when you first start with a small account, it's hard even to keep it at 2%, but you may not be able to do the add-on trades if you go much above 2%. So maybe you start with that original trade and you do the original fixed target and the trail. Would that have felt pretty good on that pound yen trade where that TJ showed you, even if you didn't have the add-ons? Yeah, it would have. But we'd like you to get to the point where you can take those additional trades because I think Troy made the point that a few times a year is when you're going to make hay and you want to take advantage of that. Now in PTU2, where we use the range bars, we trade much more frequently. So you may trade both of them. You may trade off the daily charts where it's infrequent, but big moves. And you can also trade off the range bars where you don't have any trailing. It's just one position fixed, entry and target. And you can kind of mix the two. And that's what a lot of people do as well.
And Mark, when I'm taking add-on trades, because that risk-reward ratio is so favorable, and also maybe because I'm confident enough in the strategy to know what it does right now, I put 2% on the add-ons as well. So even though it's the same, it's a trade going in the same direction, there's already an open position, I still treat it as an independent trade. And so if I have one trade and a couple add-ons, I literally could have up to 6% risked on that move. But, each trade has its own stop. It's all predefined. I already know before I go into the trade what the risk is. So that's how I do it.
Excellent. All right, so I'm going to make a call out for any final questions. Since you got us live, take advantage of it if there's anything on your mind. Also, since we're in the final call out, that means the $500 instant ownership rebate is going to go away. I know it's sad here in just a few minutes, but go ahead. We'll kind of give you all just a couple more minutes. Let me bring up on the screen as well, bring the links back in a moment. A couple things. I know we met a lot of you at the roadshow, so I just like to always give a personal thanks if you came out to one of the many cities that we visited during 2012. We hope to be back out on the road in 2013, maybe, also outside the U.S. as well. So just keep an eye out for that. We had a lot of existing PTU students as well. You're always welcome to come to those seminars. So just a thank you. Wanted to put up on the screen, of course, the email, the phone number. The next educational webinars are coming up as well. So feel free to sign up for any of those. You're always welcome to attend those. The PremierTraderUniversity.com website has lots of great information. If you dig in there a little bit, there's a blog, there's screenshots, there's results, there's videos. So, there's a lot of free education available to you. We're more than happy to share everything we know, whether or not you, come part of the university today or not. We're really here to advance the education for traders. We know that it's a tough thing to do to get to the point where you're profitable. So we're really dedicated and committed to helping you make that happen. Let me see if there's any other final questions that came in. And somebody said if you put the links back up for one more time. So there you go. Trade plans for ETFs. So yes, we do have some of those, and those come inside of the stock and options major. We've got a number of stocks that we track specifically in there, as well as a few ETFs. So definitely that is part of the overall education, and we have very specific trade plans in that area. So the answer to Dennis on that is yes. And I think I don't see any others. Brian, anything you want to close out with before we let everybody sort of get on with their evening?
Just welcome to those of you that have come on board. It's exciting to begin to work with you in the learning process. And if you have any questions at all, contact us at support or give us a call. Also, for those that I gave you the direct number to my office that need to chat with me about placing an order, I'll be in the office here for the next 30 minutes. So feel free to give me a call after we're done. So, Mark, that's it.
Great, Brian. I appreciate that. And TJ, anything you want to wrap with?
No, I hope everyone got something out of this webinar. I think we gave some really good information. It's about quality, not quantity, and structure, and whether you join us or not, or maybe you're thinking about it, just take that away with you, and hopefully that'll help your trading going forward.
Great, thanks, TJ. Yeah, and if nothing else, follow the resolutions. You got 10 really good, high-quality resolutions that have served us well. So if you walk away with nothing else, definitely walk away with that. But you'll find that all 10 of those will be incorporated into the university education and the trade plan. So again, thanks for me as well. Thanks for joining us live here tonight. Have a good rest of the evening, and absolutely great success to all of you in your trading tomorrow. And really looking forward to speaking to some of you in the undergraduate training here in a couple weeks. All right, so take care, and we'll talk to you all soon.